We've been waiting for it, and it finally happened, Dallas Cowboy fans. In previous weeks, this felt like this kind of game would always go against us. But the boys pulled it out. They got the W despite being shorthanded, and what a wonderful performance on the road in Pittsburgh. So let's break it down on this episode of Cowboys Digest. Welcome in, Cowboy fans, to Cowboys Digest. I am so fired up. I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, and today we're going to be breaking down the wonderful, amazing victory against arch rivals, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we get into the video, I want to let you know that 85% of you watching these are not subscribed, and we've been killing it on the support lately, and I think a win like tonight against the Steelers deserves a subscribe from you guys, so go ahead and do that. But let's get straight into it. Let's not waste any time. What a win by the Dallas Cowboys, and I don't want to hear any excuses. I don't want to hear anybody shortchanging them. This was an amazing victory, and the Cowboys should have won by 20, but they didn't. They won by a field goal and a last-second completion by Dak Prescott to Jalen Tolbert. It was truly fantastic, and this is the tweet that perfectly describes everything that went down tonight. The Dallas Cowboys experience is the best and worst effing thing I've ever committed to being a part of in my entire life. I found 2 gray hairs just from this game alone. Dallas takes the lead 20-17. That was tweeted right after the Jalen Tolbert catch in the end zone, which was fantastic. Shout out to that young man, really becoming the number 2 behind CeeDee Lamb right now in terms of wide receiver depth. And the Cowboys coming in as the underdog to Acrisure Stadium, and they pull out the W. So, again, this team was shorthanded tonight. No Micah Parsons, no DeMarcus Lawrence. They haven't been able to run the football. But throw all of that aside, because they got the W tonight. And I don't know how this team is going to hold up without some of those guys that I just mentioned in the lineup. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold up. But if you are a lifelong Dallas Cowboys fan and you're not smiling from ear to ear right now after that result in Pittsburgh, after an hour and 25-minute delay or whatever it was, then you need to check your pulse, man. You need to check your pulse, because I'm shocked that they won this football game. Everything was going against them. Lack of discipline, again, on the offensive side of things. False starts, whatever it was. Holding calls. Nothing was going right for the Dallas Cowboys. 2 turnovers in the red zone. 3 points in the red zone on 3 possessions, or 4 possessions in the red zone. Something absurd like that, but it didn't matter because they got the W. And Rico Dowdle, I want to give a special shout out to Rico Dowdle. Let's take a look at the stat line here. So he rushed the ball 20 times today, which is something that we had not seen at all. The Dallas Cowboys have not been running the ball, and we all thought that tonight would be a nightmare trying to run the ball against this stout Pittsburgh Steelers defense, including myself. I was really dreading heading into this matchup without a significant run game, but Rico Dowdle had the best game of his NFL career tonight. He was running the ball effectively. He was catching it out of the backfield. He obviously caught that touchdown pass to give the Cowboys their first lead of the ball game, or their second lead of the ball game, I should say. And what we saw tonight, it was not the CeeDee Lamb show. It was early on. He got the Cowboys started, but it was everybody else. Kevontae Turpin with a couple of deep catches, with a couple of with a 34-yard long reception. Jalen Tolbert as well, 48-yard long reception, and the crucial touchdown at the end of the game that basically sealed it. Then you got Jake Ferguson catching 6 passes for 70 yards. You got Hunter Lipke on that screen pass. Everything just worked out when it needed to work out tonight for the Dallas Cowboys, and I am so excited right now. And I know I might be getting a little bit overzealous after a Week 5 victory against a non-conference opponent, but who cares? I'm allowed to be happy, and after so many years of making Dallas Cowboy fans miserable and finding ways to lose games when they have it on a silver platter right in front of them, kind of like they did today, that's what makes fans irate, and that's what makes fans not believe. And I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl. I don't expect that out of this group. I don't know if they're talented enough. But what we saw today was just pure heart. DeMarvion Overshown, without some of his veteran teammates in the lineup, he is stepping up. He is making crucial tackles. He is being a vocal leader, a leader by example. He's doing whatever he has to do out there to stay on the field and prove why he's going to be a long-time starter in the NFL. You got Eric Kendricks, who had one of the best games of his season today. You got Leah Fowl as well, punching the balls out and making crucial tackles. You got Marshawn Nealand coming out of the game, and then you just have great line play. You're stopping the run. You're managing to dilute whatever the Pittsburgh Steelers are trying to do offensively. It wasn't pretty tonight at any point. It was not pretty whatsoever, and it started off even worse. It got prettier as the game went along. Started to see some completions and some sustained offensive drives, but the Cowboys won an ugly one tonight. But who cares? Because right now I think I'm one of the happiest Cowboy fans on the planet right now. I was on the edge of my seat the entire game. Every single play mattered today, and it showed in the way that the Dallas Cowboys played. You saw it with the way that the defense was reacting. Every single play was crucial. Everything mattered tonight. And that is not the intensity that we saw in the first 4 weeks of the season. We've been waiting for them to flip that switch and just show that they want to be there, show some sense of urgency. And the urgency was very high tonight. It really was. And it could have been low considering the rain delay that happened, considering that they were on the road. You know, they had won last week. They could have been coming into this one maybe a little bit on their heels, but none of that. I thought they were the most well prepared they had been all season long tonight against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that's a good football team over there. They're not a great football team. Their offense leaves a little bit to be desired. But the fact that you could go into their home stadium, do pretty much whatever you want offensively, drive the ball down the field against that amazing defense. Maybe you didn't get the points that you would have liked with some of the red zone touches that you had, but Dak was driving it all night long, man. Like, look at those, look at those stats to his receivers. Like, he was spreading it around. And shout out to Brevin Spawn Ford as well, who made a couple of key catches there throughout the course of the game. Like, everybody got involved today, and everybody had a say in this victory tonight for the Dallas Cowboys. This defense looked a lot better, and it's missing key pieces. I really think if they added a piece on offense, they could be in good shape. Really wish they'd look into adding an Adams, Cooper, D-Hop, Deontay Johnson. I also think bringing up Dalvin Cook would be good. Well, not tonight. I mean, bringing up Dalvin Cook and taking touches away from Rico Dowdle, who had the best game of his career tonight. I don't know if that's necessarily the answer heading into week 6. And the Dallas Cowboys showed us something tonight. Had a lot to overcome and got it done on the road. Now let's win at home, please, and thank you. So, interesting stat here. The Cowboys are 3-0 on the road this season and 0-2 at home. So polar opposite of what we saw in the past couple of seasons. I don't know if that trend is going to switch at all, but still an interesting little tidbit there. If they manage to sneak into the playoffs as a wild card team, they're going to play on the road, and they've shown that they play their best football on the road. So I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too much on my high horse here, but I do not care at all. I don't. I'm really happy. The Cowboys got a W. It's going to be a good week. It usually feels like a very long week when the Cowboys lose on Sunday. They didn't lose today. They beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the teams that I hate the most. So life is good right now. We're heading into a Monday. Let's crush this week. Let's crush this Monday. Let's hit all of our deadlines at work because the Cowboys won. And they play again next week. So there's something to look forward to. But thank you guys so much for the support that we've received on previous videos. Obviously, there's more to life than Cowboys football, but when you're as passionate as I am and as passionate as a lot of you fans watching these videos are, then it's understandable feeling the way that I feel. It's only the regular season. We know that you make your money in the playoffs, and that's where you're going to be judged. And the Cowboys haven't been too great come playoff time, but I don't care, man. I don't care. This was a win that they needed. This was a win that I didn't think they were going to get, and they still did it. They got the job done when everything was pretty much going against them. So they showed some mental fortitude, something that we haven't seen for the better part of 30 years here. So I'm allowed to be happy after this one, and so are you. Let me know in the comments down below. Is this one of the more impressive wins that the Cowboys have had in recent memory? Yes or no? And I'll see you all tomorrow. Go Cowboys, man. That was a genuine one. Go Cowboys.